Hi guys, welcome back to Details in Hindsight. I am your host, Maddy Brown, and I am so happy you're back. Today, we are really just going to dive right in, but before I do, if you have not yet, hit the follow button, subscribe button, or wherever you're listening to this podcast. It really helps me build community and reach more spouses just like us. Thank you so much for supporting this. I really appreciate it. Going into today's episode, we are going to go into the long distance trenches. Sorry if I sound sick. I just got over almost sepsis in the hospital, and now I'm kind of back in this second round of infection, so bear with me on this one. But today we are just going to dive right in. A lot of spouses go through this, so if you are in the long distance trenches right now, please feel free to comment down below. I would love to kind of get a comment section going, and hopefully we could support each other on the other side of this. Okay, we're gonna push through. So, yeah, for long distance and my background with it, Austin has been in the military for 3 years, and out of those 3 years, he has been gone, I would say, about 70 to 80% of that time. He's barely home, which is hard as it is, and especially during medical stuff. It's episodes like these where it's kind of hard to film because it's very sad, and I like to keep things positive and light, but long distance is not easy. It's not for the faint of heart, and if you're going through this right now, I'm really sorry, and I'm really sorry that you can relate. I'm going to just share kind of my side of it, and if this helps somebody, at least one person, feel less alone, then this is great. Honestly, one of the worst parts of long distance for me is the lead up. It's that week or months before their ship date or their deployment date, or they go off to tech school, DMT, whatever it is, that lead up before they're gone can either make or break for people. For me, it's just so stressful because I could feel this pending doom coming, and I just want to rip off the band-aid and get it over with, because that means he can come home sooner. But it's a lot of dread, it's a lot of last, it's a lot, well, we gotta do this before I leave, we gotta do this before I'm gone, just a lot of last for the service member. So it's very tricky to navigate normal everyday life while having all these intense emotions on top of it. For me, I get really, really depressed right before Austin leaves. It's kind of like graduation goggles almost, where it's oh, this is so nice, why do you have to leave? I know why you have to leave. This is, we don't need to change anything. This is perfect. But, he's changing for a better reason. And, it's going to be okay in the long run. But my brain, right before he leaves, is always just why did we have to change absolutely everything all the time? And I feel like that's a normal feeling for a military spouse. I don't think that's just me. Maybe it is. But that lead up is, it's brutal. If you're lucky, you're in the same state as your family, so you're trying to do dinners and more, try to go out more. You're doing more things than you would have in your normal routine. In a way, that's actually kind of good because it breaks out of your normal rut. But in the other way, it's just so much energy that's being spent on a lot of lasts, or until the next time, So I feel you there. Yeah, but then that kind of leads me into day zero. Day zero is probably one of the worst days, but that goodbye, that tearful, I'm gonna cry my eyes out for the next century, I don't know what to do next, what do I do, how do I move, there's almost this paralyzing moment that happens where it's just oh, he's gone, it's just me and the dogs, what now? So if you've had that feeling before, I'm sorry, but it's also you have to either get up off your feet and just keep going, or some people, i.e. me, just shut the door after they leave, or drop them off in the car and just cry my eyes out for a good hour. I pull myself together, and then either it's the last two times, the first time I had to drop Austin off was for BMT, and that was terrible because we just got married, and I knew our honeymoon wasn't gonna happen, our real wedding wasn't gonna happen in a bit. I just knew that our journey has just begun. But we both just made a really big sacrifice. So yeah, that was very tricky, but I'm glad we did it. It did pay off in the long run. And then the second time I had to do it was here in Georgia to send him off to OTS, which was also, it's crazy to me. For that one, he just left the house, so I stayed home a little bit late from work, and I just sat there and helped him pack his car. We did the last hugs and goodbyes. Thankfully, I had work. he got in the car and then I got in the car and we just both left at the same time, like we were going to work. And then I went to work, proceeded the same. And then when I got home, that's when things got a little sad. Didn't really sleep in my bed for the first week. I actually slept on the couch because I just didn't want to sleep up there. It's also like at the time I had a townhouse, so I had like an upstairs and downstairs, and upstairs is just like creepy sometimes. So I just slept downstairs with the dogs. It just felt so out of place. I don't know how to explain it. So the second time was a lot better on the goodbyes than the first time. But yeah, day 0 is just tricky. So yeah, then like as that happens, like from week 0 to week 1, 2, 3, like that first month, everything just feels harder. There's like this weight of like having to do everything again when you have a partner and you're reliant on them and you both have your routines and your routine kind of revolves around that person, and then all of a sudden that system that you guys had in place is gone like that. It's hard to just adjust overnight, and it's tricky. I know some girls can do it and they have it down like that, and it's usually the ones that have been through it for a bit. I think I'm getting there. I'm not entirely there. So it's definitely tricky, especially if they're in tech school, and I'll get into why in a minute. But it's just like this whole like routine you had in sync is now just like, and you got to figure out what's next and how you're going to proceed moving forward. And you got to do what's best for you. I wish someone told me when I went through my first period of long distance of like, okay, if this isn't going to help you for the next 2-3 months, and this isn't going to fit your routine, and this isn't going to keep you like in check, like just drop it. Don't waste all your energy on things that like don't deserve your energy, because I feel like in those first 3 months, like you're depleted emotionally, so you don't have a lot of bandwidth to keep up with a lot of things. A lot of girls will isolate for a little bit, and that's normal because they're just so drained from all the emotions of saying goodbye, but also trying to figure out the new normal while their service member and their spouse is gone. So if your military friend disappears, or your spouse friend like disappears for a couple months, just give them a break or go over and see if they need help with anything, because I'm sure they're probably just trying to navigate the new normal, especially if they have kids. That's very tricky. So that kind of brings me into my next section. About 2-3 months in, you kind of getting your groove back. You're starting to come up with a new routine. Everything's starting to feel a little bit better, a little bit lighter. That's when Murphy's Law kicks into place. Murphy's Law is, if anything will go wrong, will go wrong. It's just like this universal law that happens to a lot of military spouses. I am not excluded from that. Murphy's Law has gotten me so many times, I can't even describe. The first one was actually Nova. The first week Austin was gone. This wasn't even 10 minutes in. The first week Austin was gone, Nova escaped, and she's an all-white husky, okay? And it just snowed. I'm in Denver, and there's like this giant hill. She just runs and books it up this hill, and it's fresh snow. I can't see her. She blended in perfectly. I had to climb up the hill. If you get to the top of the hill, there's another valley, and then it goes back up. And at the top of that hill is a pack of buffalo, normally. Denver things. So I'm terrified she got to that top part. So I'm like hauling it up this hill, and the first hill. And I get to the top of it, and I was like, wait, I have an air tag. So I pull up my phone, and I'm just seeing her air tag. Ping, 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 ping. Da-da-da-da-da. It's kind of wealthy, so they have drones. So there's just me, and I could see the 2 police drones just watching me try to get my dog. And I hope they saw Nova just running around. But those drones were just watching me like a hawk. I'm like trying to call her. I'm like, Nova! Screaming for her, like just so mad. And I have my family dog with me, Sheldon. He's just chilling. He's not a fan of the snow, so he just wants to go home. He's whining. If you ever have a dog that runs off, just bribe him back. Worst case scenario. Thankfully, I got her back. So that's one example. Another example is for the second long distance stretch, I'm working at a gym currently, and like in the afternoons, and I was just showing somebody how to like not twist an ankle, and I ended up twisting my ankle anyways because I missed a slip by like a half an inch, and it just like literally just kapoof. And it was like right before a wedding too. I was so devastated. I couldn't even wear heels. Like I couldn't even walk for the first week. It hurt so bad. And then another example is like my car AC went out. Usually cars are involved with Murphy's Law, so if you're new or you're about to be a military spouse, check on your cars before your spouse leaves. You could do everything right. There's still gonna be like a flat tire or something. Austin's car is just special. His like transmitter fluid thing burst, so I had to go get that fixed. And then my car's AC went out. Like mess, absolute dumpster fire. And that's like Murphy's Law. Typically, it's just something. If something's gonna go wrong, it will go wrong. You could try your best to prepare for it, but there's just not a lot you can do. So a lot of people get sick in that timeline. I don't know. It's just weird. It's just a thing, and I don't like it. It's not a fun part of the long distance, but after a few hits from Murphy, slowly starts to adjust to like the new normal. I'd say for me, it takes about 4 months to like really get in a groove. If it's like really long term, I could get like a good routine going probably a month in, but if like I really want to get into like this new vibe, typically it takes me about 4 months just to situate. And maybe it's just because both of those times I was moving at the beginning of long distance, so maybe that's why it took me so long. Because like the first time, my first round of long distance, I moved right after my surgery, and that was another thing. I have medical issues, so that's probably part of the problem. But like the first round, I had like a surgery, and then I moved. So then by the time I got settled, that was about 4 months in. And then same around this time is I didn't have surgery, but I didn't move until like a couple months in. And then yeah, now I'm here. It's great, and I do love it here. It's actually really nice. Yeah. So if there's one piece of advice I'd give to me for like this current moment that I'm in, it's just start treating yourself to like the small wins. Everything is on you, and you have to take care of the home front. If you survive the day and nothing went wrong entirely, and you got all the bare minimum stuff in, treat yourself. Reward yourself. Be kind to yourself in this timeline. I feel like my head really spirals the most during long distance because I'm just overthinking a ton, and I don't have a chance to like talk it out with Austin all the time, especially with long distance in the military. Like communication is very limited, and it's very hard to make it consistent, or it's like you get a FaceTime call, the Wi-Fi is terrible, it's not easy at all. Or if like your person's going to like boot camp, you definitely won't be able to talk to them. So yeah, definitely just be kind to yourself at the first stretch of it. It's not easy. So yeah, and if you're like me and your husband's in tech school, you'll get these lovely breaks of like holiday breaks, and they come home for like 2 weeks, and it's great and it's magical, but then they leave again and you have to start all over. It's great. Week 1 every time, without a shadow of a doubt, with my dogs when he's gone, and then he comes back and then he leaves again. That first week every time he leaves is like hell week for me, because like my dogs love Austin. They are obsessed. So am I. They get so sad when he's gone that like they're just total jerks on the walks. It's really hard to reel them in. Sometimes I have to walk them one at a time. Right now, especially since I'm like weak from surgery, like it's a lot with the dogs. And then typically there's things that like I wish I had Austin do while he was here and never got done, because we were in like this sweet little fun honeymoon phase while he was here, and then he's gone, and then like reality kicks in, and I'm like, shoot, this is no bueno. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but that first week when they're gone is just the hardest, because it's just hell, especially with dogs. I don't know what it is with the dogs, but they don't cuddle up. They make things way harder than it needs to be, and they're not like this normally. It's always like when he's gone, and like once we get to like 2 weeks in, then they're back to their normal, all is good, we're gonna fetch, we're gonna this, we're gonna that. Like they're great, but like that first 1 to 2 weeks is not fun. I guess like my next point at long distance is like medical issues. Like if you have stuff that you have to constantly deal with. I know a lot of girls end up getting pregnant like right after deployments, and then they get deployed again and they're kind of stuck like being pregnant by themselves. I know a lot of people like myself just have health issues in general. I had a tumor. They took it out a couple weeks ago. And I'm still like in and out of recovery because I just keep getting sick. My infections are kind of insane. So, but you have to kind of do that by yourself. You have to figure out, okay, how do I get myself to the doctor? How do I take care of the dogs? And if, it's not dogs, how do I take care of the kids? You know what I mean? So, if you have the ability to keep your dogs just to 2, please keep it to 2. I've seen so many so many dogs on Facebook pages be like, this dog needs a new home. Like, if you can't handle it, don't do it. Anywho. So, yeah, and there's a lot of stigma for girls right now where I've seen a lot of them be going home to their families during like long distance and stuff. I don't blame you. Do what you need to do for you. Do not let any of the other military spouses or any of them that have an opinion that shouldn't tell you that going home is like cheating or it's, not the same. Like, if that's how you survive long distance, please do it. Like, do what is best for you. If that means going home, then go home. If that means like taking care of yourself, then take care of yourself. Like, I don't understand like why we're harping on the girls that go home. Like, it never made sense to me at all. So just know, like, if you go home during deployments and you can't do the whole by yourself thing in the middle of nowhere where you're probably stationed somewhere like that's not easy to get to, I do not blame you. And I wish I could do the same thing. However, I have a job and I love it, so I'm gonna stick around. But if you don't have a job and you do have the ability to go home, do it. There's no, like, you don't get an award for torturing yourself more. So whatever you gotta do for you, I highly, highly, highly recommend. Yeah, so then it comes to like the last 30 days of long distance. Time somehow seems to stand still even more. I don't understand what it is about like that last 30 days. So annoying. The last time, for me, it was, I haven't finished this stretch yet. I'm still in the middle of long distance. But the last time I had to wait like 30 days for us to get home, it was so frustrating because you don't know if they're actually going to come home. And you're just praying to God that they're, nothing gets delayed or extended or like whatnot. So my thoughts are with you if you're nearing your 30 days because that's a hard time. It's not easy. Because there's just a lot of emotions of excitement and all this stuff. But then my favorite part, it's like a movie like High, reuniting, seeing each other for the first time after months, maybe a year, more plus whatever. That reunion, I can't describe it, but it's one of the best feelings of all time. And only military spouses get to understand this, is just this like longing you have for your partner being totally worth it when you see your person, and it's just basically a whole new honeymoon phase, and it's great. So I'm happy for you guys if you're close. It's so sweet, and it makes my heart so full when you get to hug for the first time and just like have your person in your arms. So, and then after the long distance, the next chapter begins, and you get to experience a new fun part about being a military spouse, and either it's a new base or you get to extend. Like, it doesn't really matter, but you get to experience that next chapter of him being home, and then reintegrating, which is hard. I could do a whole episode on reintegration. That should be its own episode, honestly. But reintegrating isn't easy because you just finally, honestly, probably just got used to being alone, and having your own system again is just like functioning, and then all of a sudden you gotta like merge it back. It takes a second. Every time he comes home, I'm in a new place, so he doesn't know where any of utensils are in the kitchen. He doesn't know like where like I put stuff in the laundry. Like, he doesn't know where everything is entirely. So it's just a lot of like, hey babe, where's this? And it drives me crazy a little bit because I'm like, obviously where it should be, he hasn't been here, so I have to like kind of reel myself in, being like, it's actually in that drawer, it's in this drawer, it's that cabinet or that closet or whatever. It's like one of the harder parts, and obviously just lifestyle again, like something's changed, something's don't, and after a very long stretch of long distance, they don't come home the same entirely. There's new attitudes they have, or personas, not even personas, but just a new vibe about them that you're also getting to learn as you're reintegrating. And sometimes it can be hard, and sometimes it's great, and it's like, oh, there's more accountability, this is great. Like, I felt that way when he graduated BMT, and then like OTS was hard because he came home for a little bit, for like 2 weeks, and it was like, okay, how are we gonna find the new norm? And he was just going through it at OTS, so I think I just needed to be a little more patient with him on that one. But each time is different, and it's just kind of navigating the new person that comes home when it comes to reintegration. But yeah, so that's kind of the long distance, what it's like. So if you're a military spouse and you don't really know how to describe it, hopefully this episode helps clarify a few things for family or friends. If you're a family member listening to this, first off, thank you for being here and lasting this long in the episode. But two, when you're when you're trying to support your spouses, it really means the world to us, or your spouse friends, like it really means the world to us. And I very, very grateful. I hope that clarifies a few things. And I don't know if you can see him, but Oakley's in my lap right now. I have a bag of French fries on the table. There are alternative motives to his cuteness right now. But yeah, if you are in the trenches of long distance, I am so sorry. It's not easy. It's not fun. But just remember, like, you're doing it for your family, for your guys' future. The distance does end. He will come home. She will come home. And you get to start over again, which is so much fun. And it's going to be great. And you're going to have like a fun little secondary honeymoon. And it's great. So yeah, I hope this episode makes sense. I'm really happy for you guys if you're over long distance or close to the finish line. I'm a little over halfway, so I feel confident. Also, when it comes to long distance, the second half, way faster. Like, way faster. So once you hit the halfway point, I promise, things are going to feel like it's going to go like that. And next thing you know, that person's going to be home. So I'm going to pray us out, and we'll get out of here. Dear Lord, thank you for this day. Lord, I am just praying for all the military spouses right now that are in the thick of it. The long distance is probably one of the hardest parts about being a military spouse, and the isolation that it creates when you're alone. A lot of times spouses are alone at stations not near their families or whatnot. Lord, I just ask that you kind of reveal to the spouses like what they need to do for them. This is a season where they get to think what's best for them and vice versa. Lord, I'm just asking that these spouses are just protected in peace, and hopefully, Lord, you just keep revealing yourselves to them. And Lord, I pray that they use you as a guidance tool to navigate the long distance as well. In your name, amen. All right, guys, I hope you have a great day. I hope this kind of clarifies like long distance a little bit and what it's like for the military spouses. Yeah, if you have any questions or if you just want to share your story of like where you're at in long distance, I'd love to hear it. It's hard doing this, so let's try and not do this alone, okay? All right. I love you guys, and I will see you soon.